Should you start a web development YouTube channel in 2023? Well, the answer is not that simple. There are quite a few things that you should consider if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel right now, and in this video I will outline some of those things while reflecting on my own journey as a YouTube creator because I uploaded my first video about a year ago. I will share with you some of the important lessons that I've learned and show you exactly how my channel did in the past year or so, yes, including the YouTube revenue. The questions I want to answer here are: what is the time investment required to actually start a YouTube channel, how difficult it is to actually produce YouTube videos continuously, and what equipment do you actually need to get started. So let's start with the point number one. What is the time investment required from your initial idea that you want to start a YouTube channel to actually hitting and publish on your very first video? And the key thing to know here is that if you never before edited or created a video, you will need to learn a lot. You will need to learn how to set up your equipment, how to set up your recording environment, how to edit the video, how to write a script. You might not always need a script, but it's probably a good idea to have one, at least from my experience, because you want to have clear points that you want to address in each video. Then you will need to learn how to actually talk to the camera, how to feel comfortable in front of the camera, and so on. And all of those things take more time than you would initially expect. At least that's my experience. It took me much more time to actually set up my equipment, to set up my studio, to actually create and edit the first video. For example, for a finished 10-minute video, you will probably need more than an hour of recording to actually get to that good part of the 10 minutes that you want to show to people, that I want to show to you. And this probably sounds silly, but at the start of my journey, for example, it took me probably almost 2 hours of recording for a 5-minute video. With time, this gets easier and better, but at the beginning, it can be pretty dramatic and it can feel quite a bit overwhelming. And let's quickly jump to Screenflow here, my video editing software of choice, so I can show you exactly how this looks when you're creating a video. And this is actually the video on 7 Visual Studio Code extensions for CSS. If you haven't checked this video, link is going to be on the screen and in the description. And as you can see here, this is actually a 12-minute long video, but I'm going to show you raw footage right now, and this is right here. And as you can see, there's quite a lot of footage here, and actually there's 1 hour and 15 minutes of footage for a 12-minute video. As you can imagine, it took me a lot of time to edit it as well. If we zoom in here a little bit, you're gonna see that there's quite a lot of segments here, quite a lot of cuts, because I want this video to flow as smoothly as possible. And I do make a lot of mistakes while recording, so I'll re-record a certain segment often just to give you, the viewer, the best possible experience I can. Hopefully this gives you a little bit clearer idea about why is it so challenging and time consuming to actually create a YouTube video, because it takes a lot of time to actually record it, and then it takes also a lot of time to actually edit it. But the good news is that with time it will get easier, you will get better at things, you will get better at recording, at editing, and it will take you a lot less time to actually finish each and every video you create. And this is exactly the point number 2 I'm trying to make, or the lesson number 2, about how difficult it is to continuously produce videos for YouTube. It will get easier with time. After you create and publish a few videos, you will get an exact idea about everything that you need in order to get the video from the initial concept, from the initial idea to the finish line. Sorry about this, a little blank. One of the side effects that I didn't want to address here, but it actually happens, is you start talking to the plants that you have in the studio right next to you. They are my very good friends and I love them very much. I love how they look in my scenes, so thank you for being here with me, for keeping me company while I talk to myself and to the camera, or actually to you, my dear friend, my viewer. I kind of got sidetracked here because I'm missing this part of the script here, as you can see. Not a good idea. In any case, once you create your first video, it will be challenging, it will be difficult, and you might feel overwhelmed. But once you get through the entire process a couple of times, it will get much more manageable and you'll be much more comfortable with the entire process of creating a video for YouTube. Still, keep in mind that you will need a lot of energy and time to actually produce videos continuously, and that is especially true at the beginning of your journey once you're just starting out. And when you're starting out, the question that everybody has is, what kind of equipment do you actually need to start a YouTube channel to produce your very first video? And the answer here is, as you probably already know, you don't need a lot. You probably already have everything that you need. You have a phone that you can actually use to record a video, and this very video is actually recorded on my own phone, on the iPhone 13 Pro. It's a couple of years old, but I think the image quality is decent enough, and whatever kind of phone you probably have a good enough camera to actually get started with that. And if you are using using your phone, you probably want to have good lighting sources in your proximity. For example, I have 3 lighting sources from here, here, and here, and it took me a lot of time to actually adjust this in a way that it doesn't interfere with my glasses, because glasses are a really challenging part of recording, because you get reflections that you don't want to see in the video, and you also get this weird shadows on your face from the frames. So if you are wearing glasses, you're going to need a lot of time to actually adjust the lighting setup, but take as much time as possible to set it up properly so you're happy with the image that you get. But the audio is actually much more important than video. And I've actually gotten quite a few complaints about my audio quality in the last year, and mainly it had to do not with the microphone, because I actually invested quite a lot in the microphone. This is the biggest investment in my setup, and I will share in the description of this video all equipment that I'm using so you can check it out, and those are going to be affiliate links. So if you buy something through that link, I'm going to get a small commission, but it won't cost you anything. So if you use one of those links, just know that you're helping actually support this channel. Thank you. In any case, the thing to know about audio is that it can be difficult to set it up so you don't get a lot of echo. And there are professional tools that can help you with that, like audio blankets and whatnot, but I found those very expensive. So what you want to do in your recording setup is you want to have as much things in your environment so the audio doesn't bounce back to you or to the microphone, but actually gets lost in the room. To improvise with that, I just placed a lot of random stuff into this very recording studio. Actually, there's so much stuff around me here that I'm quite a bit embarrassed to turn the camera around and show you how it looks. But if you really want to see how horrible this actually looks, I can show you around, but just let me know in the comments, and if I get enough of those comments, I'm gonna consider actually recording a separate video and show you how ridiculously this setup for the audio looks. In any case, just put a bunch of stuff in your recording studio outside of your frame, of course, and your audio quality should improve significantly. And with those 3 most important lessons, in my opinion, about starting a YouTube channel out of the way, let's see how my channel did in the previous year. And before we jump into stats, please bear in mind that I've actually been running a newsletter, CSS Weekly, for the past 10 years, so I didn't really start from scratch. I already have 30,000 people on my newsletter, but those people were viewing me as a content curator, not creator. So it wasn't actually a smooth and easy jump from I'm the person who gathers the most important links in the industry to the I'm the person that actually creates useful videos that you will learn from. But still, this newsletter really helped me to get past the 1,000 subscriber mark in a ridiculously small amount of time. So thanks for everyone who subscribed, and thank you for watching my videos continuously. In any case, let's jump into YouTube Studio and let's see exactly how my stats for the first year actually look. And first question that I want to answer here is, how much can you grow in your very first year? I'm going to open analytics here, and I'm going to select the year 2022 here so we can see exactly what happened. And I've gotten 47,000 views, so thanks for everyone who watched this, and 1,800 hours of watch time, along with the 2,300 subscribers. As you can see, there are some really nice jumps here, but other than that, the growth is quite a bit linear and slow. And the bottom line about the subscriber number, which is probably the number that people are mostly concerned when they start a YouTube channel, is don't worry about that too much, because YouTube works in a way that it actually shows your videos to the users if they are performing well. If the viewers are watching your entire video, then YouTube is going to show it to as much people as possible, because YouTube wants to keep people on YouTube, and if you're accomplishing that, then you're gonna have more viewers and you're gonna have more views on your videos regardless of the number of subscribers. So basically, this is the metric that you want to focus on: watch time. You want your audience to view your entire videos, which will signal to YouTube that you're creating quality content, and in turn YouTube will actually show your video to more viewers, so all your numbers will actually grow. But don't really worry about any of those numbers, just worry about creating as good videos as you can. As you can see, in the very first year, you can't really expect much. As I mentioned, I have a newsletter with 30,000 people, and I still only managed to get 2,000 subscribers from that list. So all in all, what I can say to you is that when you start a YouTube channel, your growth will be slow and you might experience some jumps here and there, like you see here, but this will not be anything significant. So you should focus on creating as best content as possible, and metrics should be, well, they're a nice indicator that you're going somewhere, that you're doing something good, but don't really worry about that. Focus on creating the best videos you possibly can. And the second thing that I want to show you is what kind of content was actually popular on my channel. Maybe this gives you some ideas what you could do with your channel as well. And I'm going to jump into content tab here. As you see, there are 43,000 views on my long form videos and about 4,000 on my short form videos. The thing to note here is that the videos that are on the platform the longest have gained the most views. So how to debug iOS Safari with Xcode Simulator was actually the first video I published on YouTube. And this is the video that's gotten most views until now, almost 8,000. And if we look at our other videos, you're gonna find a similar story. Create a stunning glass morphism effect in CSS is the second most popular video. And this is also the second video I published on my channel. So the more time videos have on your channel, the more views will they get in general. And of course, if you want to dig a little bit more into statistic about the popular videos, you're gonna find that some videos are more popular than others. And if some videos are performing well, you can focus on creating content around that particular subject, which will help you get more views and will help your channel grow. And lastly, I want to show you how much I actually made on YouTube in 2022. So let's jump into the earn section here. And as you can see, I actually didn't earn anything. I didn't even qualify for the monetization program on YouTube because the requirements are 1,000 subscribers and I have over 2,000 subscribers right now, which means I've met this requirement. But the second requirement is 4,000 hours of watch time, and I'm nowhere near that. It's gonna take me a lot more time to actually get into the monetization program. But as I mentioned, this is not really my focus. My main concern is providing as much value for you as I can. And if the channel grows and if I get into the program, if I can earn some money out of it, it will be great. But at this point in time, this is not really my focus. And I don't think it should be yours as well, at least not at the beginning. In any case, directly on YouTube, I didn't earn anything. I don't really think about that. I'm not concerned about this. And I don't think you should be concerned about this either. At least at the beginning of your journey, focus on creating the best possible content you can and don't worry about making money from YouTube directly or indirectly. So let's return to my original question. Should you start a YouTube channel, a development YouTube channel in 2023? Well, if you want an instant success, you probably shouldn't. But if you're willing to invest your time and energy, if you want to get better at creating videos, if you want to get better at presenting in front of the camera, then I think you should start a YouTube channel because those skills will actually be useful for you outside of your YouTube channel as well. For example, if you're working in a company, in a remote company where you have a regular meetings over Zoom or something like that, you're going to find extremely helpful this experience of talking to a camera, of presenting ideas clearly, articulately over video. And of course, keep in mind that before you create at least 50 quality videos, you probably won't get any kind of success on YouTube or for that matter anywhere else. And as you can see, I didn't get there in a year and I don't really consider this a problem. I'm happy to learn, I'm happy to improve my videos, my knowledge, my presenting skills. And if I get a chance to connect with some of you, with you in particular, I'm really happy to do so, and thank you so much for your support over the past year. I will continue doing this for as long as I possibly can because I find this experience very, very rewarding. Thank you so much for your attention. My name is Zoran Jambor. I will see and hear you in the next video. And if you can, please leave a comment and hit that subscribe button. It would mean a lot.